A mistake that leaders will often make is doing something without saying why you're doing it, and you allow your people to come up with their own guesses, which often end up in them guessing the worst case scenario, filling in the blanks themselves. I am Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of 98 nonfiction books, and a professional hypnotist. Through this unique stack of experiences, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and your career. Just recently, UC announced that they're appointing a fellow named James Milliken to help with their financial situation. There's a question of a $500 million cut that they're going to have to cope with. And so they're bringing in this new guy to handle the issue. Now, James, reduced the CUNY deficit by $200 million. Now, this is important because it was just announced that, this fellow has been brought in. The good news is, when the university brought in James, they explained why they brought him in. This is the guy who solved this problem over here, so we're bringing him in over here. Why? See, so often when new personnel are announced or a new act is made or a decision is called, in the communication of it, they often leave out the real reason why. And we have to fill in the blank ourselves. And this is an example I caught in the news of this university doing it correctly. They're highlighting what this guy did for this other university, CUNY, and so we're bringing him in over here to help us solve our issue as well. He's the perfect man for the job. And this has ramifications, not just in business, but in our personal lives. When you explain to your spouse or to your kids or to nieces and nephews or whatever the situation is, your significant other, you're saying, here's what we're going to do. If you don't explain why, they have to fill in the blank themselves. And it's very possible that the reason why is just simply because I said so, I couldn't think of any other reason why, so I'm going to use emotional manipulating to get you to stop asking me. But if you show your work, meaning here's the thought that went into this, in just a few sentences, something interesting might happen. They tune you out. I talk about this in book publishing. It's called the strategic overwhelm effect. This book right here, where is it? This book right here by my client Noah Revoy, Become Immune to Manipulation. The very first client he got from this, so this is like most of my books I do for my clients, they're lead generation books. Lead generation books, meaning someone buys the book, they learn about the client's world, or the author's worldview, how they offer services, and they go, wow, I want to hire this person. So the night of Noah's book launch a couple of years ago, he got a direct message on, at that time it was called Twitter, now X. This individual told Noah, hey, I bought your book. I got the Kindle ebook. Here is the strategic overwhelm coming. I bought your book, Become Immune to Manipulation, Noah. And I have to say, I'm 4 chapters in, only 4 chapters into this. I've seen enough. I'm ready to hire you. And that was an almost $5,000 services package the man then purchased. Sold by Noah in the DMs because the book did the heavy lifting. This is why people pay me the big bucks, by the way. But the strategic overwhelm, when you as a leader are communicating your why and you're showing your work, somewhere around the chapter 4 equivalent of your explanation, they will tune you out and say, I've seen enough. I trust you. The reasoning you're giving, the explanation is deeper than I even thought about this. So, okay, you know what you're doing. Because that's what you want. You want your people that you are responsible for to tune out themselves having to think through, is this a good decision or not? But if you show that you've done the work they can tune out their own internal dialogue, and they can relax into your leadership. James Milliken is a good example of this. Noah Revoy is a good example of this. And now maybe you're a good example of this.